What is there to surrender to? Now, in this world of social media, we hear this so much from people from everywhere that surrender or let go or just don't worry. And they quite make us very feel great for a moment, but then we come back to our ordinary state of the mind, which is to run, fight, flight, r- do you see, in this restless mode that the mind is going and going and going, and from somewhere people appear through videos or through just things that, or through your own experience, that let go and surrender. Either you say surrender to God, surrender to universe, or surrender to the experiences of life, or maybe just you were never supposed to control anything. So maybe it is an illusion to think that I am the controller or I am the thinker. Now, why it is an important question to know that what to surrender, but the first question that comes from it, actually from this question, that why to surrender? What causes humans, people, to learn or make these philosophies, like Taoism? There are so many philosophies that I have not really learned or searched or explored, because I never had to. Somehow, once there is a self seeing instantly and clearly, then these philosophies will no longer have any kind of value. They do have, but because if you understand the self really, you will automatically see everything through. So, we see out there in the world a lot of philosophies, a lot of learning, a lot of uh, teachings of old people, which they say let go, surrender, and life will take care of everything. What causes us to be in this position to actually surrender to something, to want to surrender, to want to let go? And what is causing some people not to do this? Because they think that they are the thinker. There is no God out there. There is nobody there to surrender to. It's all life. It's all you have to think, or you have to just be a thinker, and it's all you. They take the burden on themselves and wake up with a miserable feeling that they are the controller of everything. So now they have to take care of everything. Otherwise, life will be ugly, or life will just become, uh, or something will happen really. So, what is causing us to want to surrender? Yes, why one should surrender to anything at all? Or why one doesn't want to surrender? And what is the cause of who doesn't want to surrender? Well, we see so much misery in this world of society. Misery means so much confusion, conflict, disorder, constant mind fight with life, battle going on, and fears, anxieties. I can keep on going. Yes, fears, anxieties, constant struggle, constant fight with everything, and fear of uncertainty, and much more, fear of failure, and endless chattering in the mind don't seem to stop, and overthinking everything, thinking about everything, going on 24 hours, while I'm counting the 8 hours of sleep, because even in sleep we somehow get dreams, and because the disorder is what causing the dream to come happen. So why is that? Because that's how the world has been of through the years of conditioning of this mind actually. And this all situation we are in actually is causing us to surrender to something higher power that is beyond our understanding, which is beyond the beyond, can be God, can be universe, or can be something that is beyond us. And that's what causing us to surrender, to let go, to just let this so-called existence to take care of itself actually. Means we don't have to be the main character in it to play everything out. We can rest, we can be at joy, we can just let go and just be as what we are. Yes, so that's what surrendering means. But then the question comes, who's there that I'm surrendering to? Will surrendering is safe if I surrender? Because people say that if I let go or if I surrender, but I just don't seem to trust this, because who will take care of? So there is no personal experience with this philosophy or idea, and that's why uh, even after having so many philosophies in the world throughout centuries, none of philosophy is helping humans to resolve this so-called mind problems, which has caused the companies of this economies, you see, people, company people, business people, to produce, you see, so much kind of drinks, you see, and people have dependent they have dependent their life on these chemicals like drugs, you see, smoking weeds, alcohol and all of it, so that they can lose themselves or just get to the state of no mind or whatever. So that is, we see everything. So what is there that we want to surrender to? First of all, first, if I am not doing it, can I answer it? Because there are things that we can answer by questioning, but there are things that we can only question, but the answer can only come through living it. Which is to say that there is something higher, but how can something higher be understood if the mind is trying it? Because then again it is limited. Whatever that we have ever understood with this so-called mind, we have limited, we have made it limited it. Why? Because when a thing become an idea, it no more remains that thing actually. Which is to say that what we are now talking about is the higher thing that we talk about to surrender or whatever. So now to do that, first we must see that it is not a work of a mind, or a mediocre mind cannot really, and there is no higher level superior mind or inferior mind. I mean, just a mind. The mind is only mediocre. There is no higher level of mind. The mind is always going to stay mediocre because it is limited in its own paradox. So once we are opened to what so called to this the universe of this whatever is the life, then we may find that that we are not what we are thinking all the time, and when there is a distance between all of it, then we find the ultimate power, but we cannot put in words, and that's what we surrender to. But that now when we surrender, there is no fear involved here. You see, we have to please inquire here too, that we may think I surrender, somehow the ego is hiding in the surrendering. So maybe for 1 or 2 3 days you will come back because it's no longer trusting the process. So what I'm saying here is there is a genuine understanding and trust with so-called life that take place when you simply learn to stay aware of this moment, that what is actually now, without any judgment, without any of it. And that's how one see the self actually, that who is he is actually, which means the person is not a thought, the person is not a, but who is saying that it's not a thought? Again, you may ask me the question. Now this who cannot be answered because the who is actually not there in the first place. And who is saying that who is not there in the first place? Again, this is something that cannot be grasped. And you may again ask me, who is saying that something cannot be grasped? We can argue now, we can argue, but that's why they say you ask questions so that you can bring attention to what is known, the knowledge, and you see that what was before the known or the knowledge. So once the person realizes the ultimate, the higher supreme self, you can name it but you don't have to, but as we communicate, I'm naming it the supreme self or state of God, or means being a God, as there's a different kinds of understanding has taken place in the world, but it's all the one thing that we are all talking about. See, even you call it this moment of now or present, then there's a natural trust with life will be taken will be aligned, that you are trusting naturally life and you are not even thinking that you are surrendering, and there is no even thinking I am surrendering to something, because you naturally understand there is nothing wrong in the first place. So we have discovered something very important, if you have seen it, that if there is no misery, if there is no fear, if there is no problem, if there is no battle with this life, do we have to surrender? There is no need of surrender because all is fine. And how all can be fine? If what is this instrument that I'm living with, so called the mind, which I have been taken care, which I have taken it for me, that I am it, if we seen it and realize the ultimate, then everything dissolves that is ugly, and what is beautiful will remain actually. And that is the secret. And now you will not think that you have to surrender, you see that, because you don't see any misery at all. And whatever that is not in control of you. You trust life naturally, without force, without any 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 thinking. You see that, because it's automatic. And who are you? Not as a thought. You trust life, as I say. You trust it as a whole, because you are aligned with everything. So when there is no separation, you don't even say I have to trust it, because you see that you are so aligned and consciousness is there. So there is no conflict, there is no separation there that make you to trust something. So what we have discovered is that what is there to surrender to, as we asked the first question. And the second is, that is, we have to, why we want to surrender, because we are tired of all of misery that we have, the current situation. And as we see in the self who we are actually, by being in this moment of now, and by being opened, not judging, not reacting, not resisting, not even not. You see, I'm saying not. Don't even become the not. Just see everything as it is, without any conflict, without any judgment. And as you see, natural understanding comes that if there is no center, there is no problem. The center was causing all the problem, and then there is natural relationship with this so-called life that will come on its own, because there is no ego anymore there. It's all one right here. And if we understand this without feeling, it may not make any sense, because the experience is bigger, because what you feel, that cannot be put in words, as you may have been feeling it right now. If not, you can just see it, that what are you now? You don't have any own answers, they are just mind answers. So if there is no mind, who are you actually? You see that. Once we realize the limitless, that which is beyond the mind, then there cannot be any problem, because problems only belongs to the mind, belongs to the ego, belongs to the its creation, its paradox actually, the mind. So you come here and you see that there was nothing wrong in the first place, everything was fine. And from here, there is no word or any thought making you miserable, because there is no you as another, as a thought actually. You are here not as a thought, you have not traveled to come here, you have just come here because you have always been here, not through thoughts, not through thinking, but just being as you are already. And that is the answer to the question. And now here, what you are surrendering to is not something created, concept or idea or identity. It is something that is just, that is just. And this is what we are all talking about, or you are listening about. You can feel that limitless, that power. Well, not call it, let's not call it like this, because calling it anything can just becomes a problem again. You can just simply see it, remain in it, remain in there. Thank you for watching.